And all of a sudden now, you were doing 120 with no posted speed limit. I was not under the condemnation of the law. But when I crossed past that sign that said slow down to, I think, 100 kilometers, something like that, I was now guilty, right? So Paul is saying that the law, God's law is holy because it is a representation of what? His character. His character. And God is a God of love. So really the law is a law of love. If I love God, that I'm going to not take his name in vain. I'm not going to have any idols before him. I will not bow down to any strange things. All this I'll do. But also, I will love my fellow man. And if I love my fellow man, then I'm going to honor and respect him, his property. I'm not going to look for ways of getting his property from him. I'm not going to look at his wife in a very seductive way. I'm not going to steal. I'm not going to lie. All these things are just an expression of love for my fellow man and also for love for God. So the law is an expression of God's character. Now, without the law, there's no sin. So does that mean the law is an instigator of sin? Help me out here. Pardon? Points out the sin. Now, this morning, schoolmaster, okay? Mm-hmm. What was that? But thy will. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Me, or you heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Mm-hmm. 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 So, no. Okay. So, mm-hmm. Okay, so what? This is why it's so important that we always come together, because I think this is a training ground for all of us. There are some of us, that. Pardon? That's right. There's, you get into a great. This is an expression. I remember years ago in the church I was in Rochester, the church business meeting, board meeting, and my good friend and we would lock horns like mad, and be mad at one another, but riding in the same car, get in the car and drive home, not speak, and we laugh about that now because we're old men now, but and the Lord, in His graciousness, has allowed us, to live this long, but coming here and with each other, we are to admonish and we're to encourage one another. But we got to. There are opportunities for us to grow spiritually when we have differences with one another. Okay, sin blinds us to the high spiritual standard of the law. Now, this very law which promised life on condition, as you said, condition. It promised life on the condition. Remember, our first parents, they were told that of every tree they could freely eat, right? But one tree, in the day that you eat thereof, you shall what? Surely die. So, and that was the law. If you eat of that, you're going to die. And now that was to me, where I stand today, that looks like that's an easy, thing to abide by, and I would also say, now how could they? When the Lord told them that this was going to happen to them, and yet you get deceived by a serpent, a talking serpent. Serpents don't talk. At least I don't think they did in those days. But what is the difference between then and today? Pardon? Fashion? Mm-hmm. You what? More subtle, yeah. Mm-hmm. Because much better, because we've also had more experience in sinning, okay? Okay. You never will. Okay. To do. As our very. Oh, your words. No. Okay. Mm-hmm. You know what you're saying there. Just how often lately have we not heard of, especially on the internet, that are what's this other thing they do? Twitter and Facebook, where especially among young people, and a lot of times among girls, that will say negative things and spread the word about. Well, it's usually not too many boys. It's usually girls. Negative things on Facebook, and to the point this person ends up taking their lives. Have you read that or seen that before? So that to me represents, even though I did not physically put a noose around this girl's neck or whatever to kill her, but my words led her to take her lives. So anyway, bully, yeah, yeah, Okay, says that we're still on the law of sin and death, and it says the function of the law depends on the person with whom it is associated. Explain that. Someone have a